The message arrived without warning. One moment, the entire global communications network operated normally. The next, every screen on Earth displayed the same ornate insignia, a spiral galaxy with 12 stars arranged in a perfect circle. Admiral Thomas Reed of the United Earth Defense Force stared at his command center's main screen, his weathered face betraying no emotion despite the cold knot forming in his stomach. "Play it," he ordered. The insignia dissolved into the image of a being that could only be described as vaguely reptilian, with iridescent scales and four pupil-less eyes that seemed to look through rather than at the camera. "People of Earth," the alien spoke in flawless English, "I am High Chancellor Dawes of the Galactic Council, the governing body of civilized space for the past 12,000 years. Your species has been observed since your first radio transmissions. Your recent achievements, particularly your development of rudimentary faster-than-light technology, necessitate formal contact." The alien paused, its facial ridges shifting in what might have been a smile. "The Council welcomes promising species. However, order must be maintained. As per Galactic Statutes 7293b, newly discovered technological species must contribute to the collective prosperity. The Council hereby requires Earth to submit annual tribute of 30% of all planetary resources, effective immediately." Admiral Reed's aide, Lieutenant Jackson, whispered 30% would collapse our entire economy. The alien continued, "Additionally, all military spacecraft development must cease. Compliance is mandatory. You have 48 Earth hours to acknowledge. The consequences of refusal would be regrettable." The transmission ended, leaving only the spiral insignia pulsing quietly on the screen. Within 3 hours, the United Earth Security Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from all nations gathered virtually, faces displaying varying degrees of outrage and fear. "Satellites have detected an unknown fleet holding position just beyond Mars," Reed reported. "Based on energy readings, their technological capabilities far exceed our own." President Maria Alvarez, her silver-streaked hair pulled back tightly, leaned forward. "Options? Conventional military response would be suicide," Reed stated flatly. "Our entire space defense force consists of 37 vessels, none equipped for combat against this level of technology. So we surrender?" asked Ambassador Lai, his voice tight with barely controlled anger. "No," interjected Dr. Alan Price, Director of Advanced Research. Everyone turned to the disheveled scientist, who rarely spoke during security briefings. "We have something." "Project Helios?" President Alvarez asked quietly. Dr. Price nodded. "It's untested in field conditions, but theoretical models are promising." "Explain," ordered Reed. "The aliens use a form of quantum entanglement for faster-than-light travel and communications," Price began. "We've been studying similar principles. Project Helios was designed as a defensive shield, but it could be repurposed. For the next 24 hours, every available scientist and engineer on Earth worked without rest. Military personnel prepared for the worst, and civilians remained unaware of the existential threat hovering above their planet." As the deadline approached, President Alvarez addressed the emergency session one final time. "The vote must be unanimous," she said. "The consequences affect all humanity." One by one, each nation's representative voted. The decision was reached with 6 hours to spare. At precisely the 42-hour mark, Earth transmitted its response to the Galactic Council. It consisted of a single word: no. And then Project Helios activated. On the Galactic Council's flagship, High Chancellor Dawes received Earth's response with mild amusement. "Predictable," he remarked to his senior officers. "Primitives always believe resistance is an option." "Shall we commence subjugation?" asked Commander Vex, his hand hovering over the tactical display. "Proceed with the first wave. Minimal destruction. We need their resources intact." Commander Vex initiated the command sequence. Nothing happened. "Sir," reported a junior officer, mandibles clicking nervously, "weapons systems are not responding." Dawes frowned. "Engineering malfunction." "No, sir. The quantum drives are also offline. We're receiving reports that all Council vessels in the system are experiencing the same issues." A communication alert chimed. The view screen activated, displaying a human female in a simple gray uniform. Greetings, High Chancellor Dawes. I am Dr. Emma Wright, representing United Earth. We regret declining your generous offer of assimilation into the Galactic Council. Dawes' scales flushed dark with anger. You cannot refuse. The consequences are no longer yours to determine. Dr. Wright interrupted calmly. Project Helios is now active throughout this solar system. It generates a quantum field that selectively disrupts entanglement-based technologies. Your ships and weapons will remain inoperative as long as you are within our defensive perimeter. Dawes stared in disbelief. Impossible. Your species barely understands quantum mechanics. Actually, we understand it quite well, Wright replied. We simply chose to develop it differently than you did. While you focused on travel and weapons, we studied defensive applications. Our research accelerated considerably once we detected your observation probes 20 years ago. Commander Vex leaned toward Dawes, whispering urgently, "The human speaks truth. We cannot move, communicate with the Council, or activate weapons." Wright continued, "We propose alternative terms. Earth will join the Galactic Council as a sovereign member with full rights and protections under Council law. We will share our quantum disruption technology with the Council for peaceful applications only. In return, we expect immediate recognition of our territorial boundaries and technological autonomy." "And if we refuse?" Dawes asked, already knowing the answer. "Then you and your fleet will remain here indefinitely, while we extend our defensive perimeter and contact other species in the Council. I suspect many would be interested in technology that neutralizes Council military power." The silence stretched for several minutes before Dawes spoke. "It appears we have underestimated humanity's resourcefulness," he admitted grudgingly. "The Council will consider your terms." After the communication ended, Commander Vex turned to his superior. "High Chancellor, in 12,000 years, no species has ever—" "I know," Dawes interrupted, staring at the blue-green planet on the view screen. "Contact the Council. Tell them we've discovered something unprecedented, a species that said no and had the means to enforce it." On Earth, celebrations remained subdued. Humanity had won its first interstellar confrontation not through superior firepower, but through foresight, preparation, and the courage to speak a single word of defiance to the stars.